conclusion, Pastor Edochie wrote this for you guys to know where Edochie is coming from and what Edochie believes in. He said, prayer is good, but sometimes the answer to your problems lies in your village. Go home and ask questions. For some families, RIP has become a recurring thing. They have prayed for so long, yet nothing changed. Go to your village and ask questions. Do some consultations. Many answers lie there. Yo, Edochie, what is he trying to tell you there? What is Edochie trying to say about this? People said, have you gone to your village to ask about you and your cow meat wey don't drag you for floor tire? Please lead us by example. Someone said, who released this guy from his bottle? They talk nonsense. Sir, are we combining pastoral and babalawo in today's service? This your polygamous mentality, reach God too. Now you want to marry God and Juju. That's the point. That is it. Someone said, when a man raised in a Catholic home and has practiced this all his life for decades, suddenly focus on seeking help from shrine and temples, it seems the man has started patronizing the native doctors. So guys, when we talked about Edochie's package, a lot of people do not understand it. They don't understand it. When we say that Edochie is into diabolic practices, when he called himself, and the diabolic practice that Edochie is into is the water diabolic practice. You know, the other time I told you that Judy Austin is the spiritual mother of T-Virus, according to what we heard. Yes. Edochie did not just wake up one day and call himself what he called himself. Edochie is entrenched into level 1. He has not gotten to the higher cadre. He's entrenched in these practices, in worship of deity, ancestral things, but he's still in level 1, level 2. And where did this start? It started when Edochie had to portray characters laying in the coffin. So you can't lay in the coffin in such environment. Not because laying in the coffin, all of a sudden something will now begin. No, the coffin will not grab you or begin to attack you spiritually. But there are certain people who are custodians of these dirty things. Those people will attack you for reasons that they believe is only in their own, like they would say, this is in our own province. We're in charge of coffin. This is part of the rituals that we do in our society. How dare this small boy sleep in the coffin? Are you part of this and that? Are you part of that and this? How dare you sleep in the coffin? So Edochie, for him to sleep in the coffin and wake up alive with nothing happening to him, it means that Edochie must have joined himself. He must have joined himself. He must have put himself in certain covenants to help him protect against repercussion from those people that will want to attack him spiritually. You see? So Edochie has done a little bit of some of these practices, just that none of these things are working for him. So one person wrote, 1 minute you are telling us you are now a pastor, the next you are sending us to the village to ask the gods. You make a decision whether you are for God or for Babalawo or for Dibia. You should go to your village and ask how you manage to ruin your family name. That was the greatest name in, at least, Nollywood, in the southeast of Nigeria. Your father was the greatest in Africa. You have ruined his name with your bag of rice. You, your own son, died unexplained. Yet, you have not gone to the village to ask how your side chick managed that one. Open your eyes before you lose everything. You, bag of rice, is in your DMs telling us how you plan to buy Kwebe for the houses she built with her own hard-earned cash. You abandoned your own children for that woman with rainbow kids from 1 million fathers. Now, she wants to buy in your hands because she knows she can't get better. Go to your village and ask questions on how you massacred and vandalized the Edochie's name. This one hit. Oh, this one deep. This one deep. Oh, this one deep. This is deep. This is deep. Deep, 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 deep. Now, I told you guys something. You see, Edochie and Judy Austin, they have multiple accounts, and they also have people who are also supporters of theirs, which is okay. That is how life is supposed to be. So some of them are also going to support him. And don't forget that there are some people that are supporting Edochie to make sure that Edochie's thing continues. Like, yes, that's the truth. Someone said this man is using the gullible. Taking a woman from her husband and scattering your family should have been asked for in your village. Another person wrote this. Another person wrote this one. Dear Yo, this is final evidence that you are not a pastor. Chief Yo, this shows that God did not call you into the ministry. You probably called God and it doesn't work that way, sir. Another field mission as a pastor, native doctor, loading. God does not answer the prayer of a sinner. My God answers prayer. I don't know about your gods. You maybe you don't read Bible, but please try and read these Bible verses. Small boy, you don't they resign from starvation ministries. Now babalawo you won't become now abi. That's the truth of it. I'll tell you guys this for free. For a while, Edochie had been kind of not saying things, but all of a sudden, immediately he said God called him. I started seeing some write-ups about deity, ancestral worship, masquerade, and all of that. And I said, this guy said he's a pastor, that God called him. I said, God called you to do what? As a pastor. What is this guy trying to? This guy is not normal, oh. I mean, May, you are lucky, oh. I keep repeating it. May is so lucky. When they say the most fortunate woman, you are so lucky to have escaped before you became 40. At least you have, it's just unfortunate you have kids together. So that will always continue to connect both of you together. Like, may we not fall into this disrepair. Like, you know those type of electronics that they will say, go and dump it. Go and trash it. It cannot be repaired. It can't be salvaged. No part of it can be used. May we not be. Because you, Edochie, you told us that God called you. Then all of a sudden, from the call of God, I started seeing write-ups, all these Oyibo people that came to Africa. They came to our villages and they took away our ways. I said, okay, yeah, there are certain things that they did. He said that all our masquerades are not that bad. All our cultures and traditions are not that bad. He started saying certain things and I'm like, wait, hold on a second. What is this dude saying here? You said you are a pastor. You said our ancestors always had a way to connect to God. We were not what they said we are, worshippers of devils. We had our chi. We had our ways of connecting to God. I said, okay. Yeah, there are ways that people connect to the God that they think they are connecting to. But which God is it? Because we know that Lucifer, devil, Satan wanted worship. If he wanted worship, if he wanted his own jurisdiction, like he wanted people to bow to him, I mean, something that was created wants what he didn't create to bow to him. Is that not like a big offense? So when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, what is Edochie saying here? He's making it clear that you are praying, which is okay. First, I want to divide what he wrote into two. Yes, I want to divide it into two. He said prayer is good. Yes. But sometimes the answer to your problems lies in your village. Go home and ask questions. There is no problem about that. It's called feasibility study. There's no big deal about that. Go home and ask questions. Go to your village if you have a village, or go meet certain people to know why you are going through what you are going through. I do understand that part of it. It's called feasibility study. You have to look at the pattern. There are certain battles or issues that you are going through and you have prayed, but you are praying amiss. Different pastors, prophets have told you this and told you that and that. Why don't you go and search? Don't go to do what Edochie is saying here. But he said, do some consultation, which is okay. It is true that many people have prayed for so long, yet nothing has changed. Let's be sincere. Some people have prayed and prayed and prayed. Nothing has happened. Why? Because they are praying amiss. They are praying amiss. So, so I can say this in two ways. But the reason why I'm going hard at Edochie is because he had written Prior to this, he had written things that points that he's not just saying go for consultation and ask questions, do feasibility studies. No, he's also making it clear that those practices are not that bad. Like drop some few kola nut, pour libation. They didn't tell you to cut somebody's leg. What have you done? Give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Are you not praying through your ancestors to help you? The same way, and I don't blame him. He's a Roman Catholic. Sorry to offend those that are Catholics. But we have to be open-minded here. You don't have to be foolishly foolish. Let us tell ourselves the truth. Edochie is saying this because there is a kind of connection to the Roman Catholic practice and the same practice that Edochie is talking about, which is the idol worship. You have an effigy somewhere. They say this is Saint Peter, Saint Augustus, Saint Johnson, Saint Matthew, Saint Henry, Saint this and that. And you have those statues. And you go there and pray to Saint Augustus. Or you don't see people do these things. If you live in Europe, if you live in Italy, you live in Mexico, countries where Catholic practices. If you go to the Southeast, maybe they have a little bit of, because of the charismatic thing. It doesn't make sense. It's like they don't read their Bibles, or maybe they have a different Bible, because there's something called doctrine. That is where Edochie is coming from. There is something called doctrine. Doctrine. That is the package of the church. So if people don't read Bible and they only listen to what their priest told them or whatever, and they don't do their own searching the scriptures very well, you will not understand what you are doing. You think you are worshiping God. They have statues. Where is it in the Bible that saints, as they call them, saints, people that are dead, what is it? Is it not ancestors? But they are not your own ancestors. So Edochie is saying things that he is confused about and also connecting to it. Like, how can they tell me to go to Rome and stand in the front of Saint Peter and be saying Saint Peter should help you talk to Mary, Mary should help you to, where is it in the Bible? Then they will confuse you with some stories that Jesus said, look at my mother. That's rubbish. If you go to the Hebrew text or the Aramaic text, you understand that the use of word that was translated into English and manipulated doesn't make. If you meet a proper Jewish person, Israel, like someone who is who understands Aramaic or Hebrew, the language spoken in the time of Jesus, you understand that that does not mean the same thing. They say no. He said, "Look at Mary, look at my mother." No, he was saying, because I took time to speak to someone that speaks that language, that understands that language. He said, what that means is this: I am going, take care of my mother, feed my mother. Or if a son is gone, who is going to feed the mother? Jesus was the one feeding his mom. Say, take care of my mother. Not because Mary did not have other children after Jesus, but he wanted them to, like, please cater for my mom too. Mind my mom. Not because he could not do it spiritually, if he wanted his mom to be okay. But he said, look, son, that's my mother. He has now become your mother. Don't leave him. Take care of him. Watch after him, after her, I mean. So that's what that meant. So they manipulated. So Edochie is saying this practice as a Roman Catholic. Like, wait, how can I go and stand in the front of one saint that is gone? Saint Basilica, Saint Johnson, do this, Saint John. I don't know where it is in the Bible. Maybe Bibles are different anyway. Where it is in the Bible that you should tell Mary. I've never seen it before. Neither have I heard that Jesus said, for you to reach me, pray to my mother and say, Holy Mary, mother, I'll pray for you. How can Mary pray for you? That Mary should help you beg Jesus Christ. It doesn't make sense. This is a human package. So Edochie is connecting into what his ancestors would do and what people that worship deities are. That is the same thing. It's the same thing. So here is what Edochie is saying here. It's the same thing. You go to meet your deity, your ancestors. After all, they will say Caucasians are not your ancestors. That's it. So that's what Edochie is saying here. He's trying to connect his Roman Catholic upbringing with what he has seen so far, praying to Peter, Paul, asking them for certain needs here and there, going to their statue, putting certain candles there, or whatever that you see a lot of Catholics do. You find it. If you want to find out about it, find out about it if you're a Catholic It's true. It's there. It's not something that we need to argue about. We see, unless we are blind, we see Catholics going to do these things. Then we see them standing in front of statues of the so-called Caucasian Mary. How can Mary be that color if Mary lives in the Middle East? How can Mary have blue eye and blonde hair and all of those things? How can Jesus be even that? You have been scammed. These things are there, but people argue with you because that is it. Religion is the opium of the people. So people argue with it, argue about it. That's normal because they are inside of it. You cannot clean yourself from what you are inside deep in. It's not possible. You can't clean yourself until you come out of it. Then you can start talking about cleaning yourself. You will suspend your mind. It's not as if you don't want to think about it, but it will be like, no, if I think about it, I will RIP or God will punish me. It's not true. It is not true. You just need time to see into these things and you realize that, wait, which Bible are you reading? Because for you to be a Christian, you must be reading a particular Bible, isn't it? You must be reading Bible. For you to be a Muslim, you must be reading Quran. So not what your imam or your priest told you, because they can tell you anything. That's what they call doctrine. What they formulated. Is that what is in the Bible? I've never seen it in the Bible that you should meet any saint to help you. It's the same thing called idol worship, that you should meet a deity in your father's compound to help you. That's what it is. Like you are speaking to that deity to help you connect, to get you what you want. So you are speaking to a saint. You are telling Mary. How can you speak to Mary? You say, don't you know, they say that you cannot, if you take out that's a logic. They say if you take out the letter from the envelope, will you throw the envelope away? Like Mary is important. That they said that she is highly honored. You will hear words like, they say she's honored all over the world. Honored all over the world. You have to look at the Hebrew text of what that means. Does that mean that you should tell her to help you tell Jesus Christ? That it will be easier for her. It's doctrine. So that's where Edochie is coming from. That's what Edochie is saying here. That is connecting those things. He has said many of these things in the past. So here he's saying that it's good to go and get updates about your life, why things are the way they are in your life. Which I do understand that people need to do feasibility studies. Like you need to ask questions. But he said do some consultations. That's where you will know where Edochie is heading to. Who will you be consulting? Who will you be consulting? Is he saying consult the elders or consult those people? Don't forget that those people will also want to put you in servitude. They want to tell you things that will make you feel that there is no way God can help you until you pay homage to those deities. You see? So they might be telling you that kind of thing. But consultation, if it's about you asking questions like, wait, why is this thing happening? They'll say, oh, and I will tell you for free. All of these things are tied to what they call covenant. The covenant that your ancestors made will trouble you. Even it is written in the Bible. It will trouble you until you make steps, take steps, make move to get yourself rid of that covenant, which is not always easy. It's not always easy because you don't know the type of covenant, how the covenant was made. You are just maybe in general praying to God to deliver you from the covenant. How the covenant, is it a written covenant, spoken covenant? What type of covenant? Is someone still keeping that covenant alive? Many other things. There is technicalities. So it takes the grace of God to get out of this. So Edochie is trying to discover the other side of his calling.